Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Brendan Rodgers verbally agrees to Man United job as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is set for the sack. Now there is some Manchester United fans that would like to see Brendan Rodgers become Manchester United's next manager. Brendan Rodgers is a far superior manager to Solskjaer. I've got to admire the work that Brendan Rodgers has done at Leicester. At Leicester, he's won the Community Shield and the FA Cup. He's been Leicester manager for almost 3 years. He's got a contract with Leicester until 2025. Brendan Rodgers has managed quite a lot of clubs. Obviously, before he was at Leicester, he was at Celtic. He endured a few years with them and won quite a few trophies. Before Brendan Rodgers has managed Liverpool, he endured one good season with Liverpool, but he didn't win anything at Liverpool. When Brendan Rodgers was at Liverpool, he emulated the football that he produced at Swansea. Yes, he's managed Swansea before. A long time ago he managed Reading and Watford, and a long time ago he managed Chelsea's youth. But if Brendan Rodgers came to Manchester United, I think he'd get us back to that level where we should be at. And he would suit the strappings of the club. Mark Ogden did say a couple of weeks ago now that Brendan Rodgers was a potential replacement for Solskjaer. Now, there's also a lot of United fans that are demanding Zinedine Zidane in. He would be my number one choice to replace Solskjaer. Zinedine Zidane is managerless because he left Real Madrid in the summer. Zidane has got a good pedigree behind him. Look at the amount of silverware he won when he was Real Madrid manager. Now, Manchester United have already held talks with Zinedine Zidane, and reports from Spain said not so long ago that Zinedine Zidane rejected the Newcastle job as he's waiting for the Man United or France job. Reports from Spain did say though earlier on this season that Zidane wasn't interested in becoming Manchester United manager if Solskjaer gets sacked. It did mention that Zidane is enjoying life away from football management. But it would be good to see Zinedine Zidane come and experience the Premier League because he's not managed in the Premier League yet. Erik ten Hag, he's also been spoken about as well. I've got to admire the work he's done with Ajax. He's a far superior manager to Solskjaer. Ralf Rangnick is also interested in the Manchester United job. Mauricio Pochettino's still being mentioned as well. Yesterday, Roberto Mancini got mentioned. Roberto Mancini is the former Manchester City manager. But in regards to Solskjaer, he could be sacked during the international break, following Manchester United's 2-0 defeat to Man City at Old Trafford. After the game, Solskjaer did admit that Man United were outclassed by Man City, and he also said the Man City defeat was a big step backwards. It was an abysmal performance against Man City. I think if Solskjaer cared about the club, he would resign. You know, when Man United do sack Solskjaer, they'll have to pay Solskjaer 7.5 million because in the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with Man United until 2024 there's an option of a further year, and Manchester United certainly made a mistake giving Solskjaer that contract. And a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. The players are not playing for Solskjaer, so that tells me that the players have given up on the manager, and Solskjaer's also losing the fans. Manchester United have only won one of their last 6 games in the Premier League. I think after the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool a couple of weeks ago, Solskjaer should have been sacked then. If Man United would have sacked Solskjaer after the game against Liverpool, then I think Man United would have got Antonio Conte. I was very disappointed that we missed out on Antonio Conte. Obviously, Antonio Conte is Tottenham's manager. Solskjaer has had long enough at Manchester United. He's been in charge of Manchester United for almost 3 years. And this season is his 3rd full season as Man United manager. And I did say at the start of this season that this season was going to be massive for Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. But the expectations are far too high for Solskjaer to exceed as Man United manager. I can assure that Solskjaer has lowered the standards at the club as manager, and Solskjaer is in a position that he should not be in. I hate to say this regarding Ollie, but I'm just being realistic. Revert back to what I've said so many times on my recent videos. We all wanted Solskjaer to succeed as Manchester United manager, but unfortunately, he's not going to, is he? I think Solskjaer's done the best he can. I just think he's got to come out and accept that, he's no longer good enough for the Manchester United job. Solskjaer cannot take this squad any further. But reflecting on our poor performances and poor results, you can't just put all of the blame on Solskjaer. There's also players that have to take responsibility for those poor performances and poor results as well. It's never just all the manager's fault. But I adore Solskjaer a lot, just like all Man United fans do, reflecting on what he has done for the club, because Ollie is a club legend at the end of the day. He endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. Ollie had a proven pedigree as a player, but unfortunately he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager, and that is the difference. The reason Solskjaer's lasted as long as he has done is because he's a legend of the club. If he wouldn't have been a legend of the club, I think he would have been sacked a long time ago. And Solskjaer ran out of excuses a while ago as well, because obviously Man United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window this year. Spent around 141 million, brought the likes of Sancho in, Varane, and re-signed Ronaldo after 12 years. And obviously brought Tommy in on a free. Solskjaer also received strong backing from the board. Obviously, Ed Woodward's backed Solskjaer. It's actually been saying that Woodward is refusing to sack Solskjaer. Woodward's not leaving Manchester United until January. The Glazers also have backed Solskjaer. John Mert have backed Solskjaer in the summer transfer window, and so too did Darren Fletcher. Solskjaer has endured 5 transfer windows as permanent Man United manager. And you know what? Manchester United have got a very, very good squad. It's a title-winning squad. So in reality, Man United should be winning the Premier League this season. Well, Solskjaer did say at the start of this season that his ambition was to win the Premier League. Man United have not won the Premier League since 2013. That's 8 years or so ago now. But the problem is, Man United are a team of individuals. They don't actually play as a team, and that is one of the biggest problems at the moment. You've got the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool and Man City that all play as a team. That explains why they're in a much better position than Manchester United. So there you go. And obviously more pressure is now on Solskjaer. Obviously with the 2-0 defeat to City recently, and plus Norwich have just sacked Daniel Farke, despite Norwich beating Brentford 2-1. That was their first win of the season. And obviously not so long ago, Tottenham sacked Nuno Santo. Solskjaer hasn't even won a trophy as Manchester United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. And the reason Solskjaer got the job on a permanent basis was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. Now, when Solskjaer does get sacked, he will be the fourth permanent manager to be sacked since Ferguson, because Man United have already sacked 3 managers since Ferguson sacked David Moyes after 10 months. We finished 7th under the David Moyes era. That's the lowest we've finished in the Premier League era. He's one of the worst managers we've had. Then we sacked Louis van Gaal after like 2 years or so. We did win the FA Cup under him. And then we sacked Jose Mourinho after like 2.5 years, was it? Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United because he did win 3 trophies in his first season. And I think he got the second place finish in his second season. But the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board, bad disputes with the top players. And in general, the board weren't backing the signings that he wanted to recommend in. But Manchester United have not been the same team since Ferguson retired. And a lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired, which obviously it has done. No one's going to replicate what Ferguson did. You know, Ferguson brought success to Manchester United. He won 30-odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles. But he didn't settle in straight away, Ferguson, because he didn't win out in his first 4 years. Ferguson was a very long-serving manager as well. He enjoyed a 27-year managerial tenure at Man United. The only mistake Ferguson made was recommending Moyes in when he retired, but the reason he did that is because they're both Scottish and he seemed to have a lot of time for David Moyes. Players are going to be leaving Manchester United next year. I definitely think Martial is going next year. I think Juan Mata is going next year. I think Cavani's going next year. I think Lingard's going next year. I think Donny van de Beek's going next year, because Donny van de Beek is not getting enough game time at Man United. And reflecting on that, he has been very frustrated. I think Matic is going next year. I think Pogba's going next year. He'll be leaving next summer on a free transfer because Pogba's already mentioned that he wants out and Pogba's refused to sign a new contract. Mark Ogden said earlier on this season that Man United are prepared to let Paul Pogba leave on a free transfer next summer after accepting that the midfielder will not sign a contract. His current contract at Man United expires next summer. Before the start of this season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract. Pogba has got 1 game to serve now out of the 3-match ban he got. Pogba got sent off for a 2-footed challenge on Naby Keita in Man United's 5-0 defeat to Liverpool. I think Telles is going next year as well, because he doesn't really get in the team. Telles will only play if Luke Shaw's not available. I think Jones and Bailly are both going next year. I think Dalot is also going next year. Dalot will only play when Wan-Bissaka's not available. Dalot is our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka. And Dean Henderson, I think he'll go out on loan next year, because obviously Dean Henderson doesn't get his opportunities now because De Gea reclaimed that number 1 spot back. So there you go. But you know what? These really, really good players at Manchester United. And with the players and that we've got, we should be doing far, far better than we are. I expected Man United to do well this season, reflecting on the squad we've got. Especially when we re-signed Ronaldo as well, I thought we was going to do really well. But we've got Ronaldo, best player in the world overall. Even Ronaldo's been taking the mick out of Solskjaer. Ronaldo recently played in the 2-0 defeat to Man City. He was anonymous because he hardly got any service. Ronaldo did have 2 good chances in the game against City. Ronaldo's first chance came from a volley, produced a good save for Maddison, and his second chance produced a good save for Maddison, but that chance was offside anyway. Ronaldo saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta, because obviously Ronaldo scored twice in stoppage time at the end of both halves. Ronaldo scored the winner in the reverse fixture against Atalanta at Old Trafford. He also scored the winner against Villarreal earlier on this season. He scored a very good volley in the 3-0 win against Tottenham last weekend. He had a disallowed goal in that game against Tottenham, and he also got an assist against Tottenham. That was Ronaldo's first assist since he re-signed for Man United. But we're relying on Ronaldo far too much. Recently, Ronaldo got named Manchester United's Player of the Month for October. So obviously he's got back-to-back awards now, because back in September, Ronaldo got named Premier League Player of the Month. We got Ronaldo for 19.8 million with add-ons included. He does wear the number 7 shirt. Ronaldo's got a contract with Man United until 2023. There's an option of a further year, and Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United at the moment. He has won the Ballon d'Or 5 times, Ronaldo. He has won 32 major trophies in his playing career. You've got Mason Greenwood, that's also good as well. Greenwood played alongside Ronaldo in the 2-0 defeat to Man City. That partnership doesn't work though. Greenwood didn't start against Atalanta, but he did come on for the injured Raphael Varane. Greenwood scored a stunning goal in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester earlier on this season. Greenwood's got 4 goals in the league so far this season. At one point though, Greenwood did go a while without scoring, but I think he's been a revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7. So he's been part of the club for a long time, and last season Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract. Marcus Rashford, he's a good player as well. He's done well in quite a few games since he's come back, but he's also had some bad games as well. Marcus Rashford didn't start against Man City recently, but he did come on. Didn't do too bad. Rashford, I thought, was poor in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta. He came on as a substitute in the 3-0 win against Tottenham last weekend and scored our 3rd goal. It was a breakaway goal. Rashford scored in the 3-2 win against Atalanta at Old Trafford. He also scored on his comeback in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester. Don't forget Rashford was out with a shoulder injury for a while. And don't forget Rashford had to have an operation on his shoulder at one point. Rashford's been part of the club for a long time. He's been a United player since the age of 7 and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. Rashford's got a contract with Man United until 2023. And you've got Edison Cavani, that's also a good player as well. Cavani obviously didn't play against Man City due to medical reasons. Uruguay confirmed that he was out due to medical reasons. Cavani didn't start in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta, but he did come on. Obviously, he started in the 3-0 win against Tottenham last weekend, and what a good performance he put out. He scored a very good goal. It was a lovely dink over Hugo Lloris, and Cavani should have scored in the first half against Tottenham because he had a very good headed chance that just went wide. Cavani was playing alongside Ronaldo against Tottenham, and that was intriguing to see. This season is Cavani's second full season at Man United. Don't forget, we got Cavani on a free transfer. Cavani's got under a year left on his contract at Man United. Back in May, Cavani signed that 1-year contract extension. Cavani's got a good pedigree behind him. Look at the amount of silverware he won when he was at PSG. Not only that, he was a long-serving player at PSG as well. You've got Jadon Sancho as well. That's a good player, but Sancho hasn't enjoyed the best of starts to his Man United career, and reflecting on that, fans have been getting on his back. Solskjaer's to blame for Sancho's poor performances because when Solskjaer decides to play Sancho, he persistently plays him out of position. He puts him on that left wing. Yes, he can play as a left winger, but he's far superior on the right wing because the right wing is Sancho's predominant position. He can play through the middle as well. But there's quite a few games that Sancho doesn't even play for Man United. Obviously, he came on against Man City yesterday, didn't do too bad to his credit. I said Sancho will do well at Man United providing that he's used correctly. It does take some players time to settle in. Sancho did enjoy 4 good years with Borussia Dortmund before he came to Man United. We got Sancho in a deal worth 78 million with add-ons included, and Sancho's got a contract with Man United till June 2026 as an option of a further year. You've got Bruno Fernandes, that's also a good player as well. He's one of our best players and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Fernandes has been consistent in a lot of games for Man United, but on the other side of things, there's been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace. But Fernandes starts the vast majority of Manchester United's games. Obviously, Fernandes played in the defeat to Man City, and I thought Fernandes was very, very poor. He looked very sloppy on the ball, and he gave the ball away quite a lot of times. Fernandes did well in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta in midweek. He got the assist for Ronaldo's first goal. It was a lovely back heel by Fernandes. He did well in the 3-0 win against Tottenham last weekend because Fernandes played a part in 2 of our goals against Tottenham. Fernandes has provided a lot of assists since he became a Manchester United player. Also scored a lot of goals. Fernandes has been a Manchester United player for almost 2 years now. We got him from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Last season he won Player of the Year and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Earlier on this season, Fernandes did make it clear that he wants to stay at Manchester United. When he came to Man United, he said he's come to Manchester to win trophies. At the moment, Fernandes has got a contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. You know, you've got Donny van der Beek, that's a good player. But like I said, I haven't had much of a perception on him at Manchester United because he doesn't get given enough game time. Van der Beek did come on against Man City yesterday. I thought he made an impact when he came on. Van der Beek also came on in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta and put a good performance out. But yeah, I think that Donny van der Beek is definitely leaving Man United in January. Obviously, prior to the Liverpool game, Solskjaer did admit that Van der Beek was frustrated and disappointed over his situation at Old Trafford. And earlier on this season, it did mention that Van der Beek was furious with Solskjaer. Van der Beek has endured what a difficult 19 months at Man United. You know, this season is his second full season. You know, we got Van der Beek in a deal worth 40 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025. And he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Yeah, Pogba's a good player as well. Not only a good player, he's an imperative player. You know, you've got Luke Shaw. That's a good left back overall. But this season he's been absolutely abysmal. You know, where's the Luke Shaw from last season? Because last season Luke Shaw was absolutely superb. He was far superior last season to how he has been so far this season. But, you know, Luke Shaw recently played in the 2-0 defeat to Man City. And Shaw was very, very poor in that. You know, he was the main culprit for Bernardo Silva's goal. There again, De Gea was partly to blame as well. Luke Shaw has been Manchester United's first choice left back for a while, and he still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Telles. Shaw's been at Manchester United for 7.5 years now, so he's been a long-serving player. I think Shaw's injured now anyway because he came off injured yesterday against Man City. And Wan-Bissaka, you know, he's a good right back as well. He's had some good games this season, but he's also had bad games as well. He was recently poor against Man City. It's a shame really because in recent weeks Bissaka's been in scintillating form. You know, you've got Eric Bailly, that's a good centre-half as well. But he was abysmal yesterday against Man City. You know, Man City's first goal came from an own goal by Eric Bailly. But not just the own goal, Eric Bailly's overall performance was just very, very poor. Defensively, we were shambolic. What? 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 But like I say, I think Bailly is leaving next year. You know, Harry Maguire can be good when he wants to be, but he's been abysmal so far this season. You know, Varane's a good centre-half, but obviously he's out with a hamstring injury for a month. And you know, De Gea's a very, very good goalkeeper. So anyway guys, that's everything to update with today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.